You buy a 56-acre horse ranch with rolling hills, a tennis court, and plenty of space for your kids and horses to roam. You're living the Pinterest dream until your neighbors decide it's their personal mission to make your life miserable. What will you do? For Rachel Rodgers, she lawyered up, made $1 million profit, and moved her family to a fabulous island because she doesn't have time for anyone's nonsense. That's not just a power move. That's unicorn energy in action. Hi, I'm Jen Kem, author of Unicorn Team, and a huge fan of bold women who don't just dream big, they live big. I've known Rachel Rodgers for many years, and let me tell you, this woman is the real deal. She's built an 8-figure business while teaching women how to claim their worth and create generational wealth. But here's what makes her truly special. Rachel doesn't just ask, what do you want? She challenges you to ask, why do you want it? And once you've got your why, she's the one cheering you on to go all in. Let's start with this ranch that I spoke about at the top, because honestly, who buys a 56-acre horse ranch during a global pandemic? Rachel Rodgers does, and I absolutely love it for her. But this wasn't just about luxury. The ranch became a space for her family to thrive, for her to host community events, and for her to live out a vision that aligned with her values. A powerful example of how Rachel supports her community in every decision that she makes. Of course, the dream didn't come without challenges. Enter the neighbors. Let's just call them the petty patrol. They weren't just any neighbors. These were the kind who'd probably clutch their pearls if you dared to have fun within a 10-mile radius. They weaponized zoning laws, filed baseless complaints, and tried to make Rachel's life miserable. Rachel could have let these challenges define her experience, but she didn't. Instead, she doubled down on what mattered. She fought back, not just for herself, but for every person who's ever been told she doesn't belong. And that's a pretty big swing, if you ask me. Eventually, Rachel decided to sell the ranch. And here's what I love about this. She didn't sell out of defeat. She sold because the ranch no longer aligned with her vision. She made a profit, moved her family to an island, and created space for the next chapter of her life. This is what she calls a $1 million decision, not just financially, but emotionally. She didn't wait for the stars to align. She made the decision and trusted herself to figure it out. That's unicorn energy at its finest. Being clear about your vision, but flexible in how you get there. Rachel's story is a reminder that it's okay to pivot. Dreams evolve, circumstances change, and you're allowed to rewrite your plan. In fact, the ability to adapt is one of the most powerful traits of a true unicorn. Rachel is not just a unicorn because of her success. She's a unicorn because she consistently chooses to step into boldness, even when the odds aren't in her favor. Rachel Rodgers is a walking, talking, doing unicorn. Seriously, how many of us are taught to dream small, play it safe, and settle for less? Rachel said, no thank you to all of that and rewrote the script for herself. Take the ranch, for example. Who buys a 56-acre horse ranch during a global pandemic? Most people would see all the reasons not to. The timing, the scale, the logistics. But Rachel saw what could be. She had a vision for creating not just a home, but a space that embodied abundance for her family and community. Then, when her neighbors decided to make her life miserable, Rachel didn't just pack up and quit. She stood her ground. She lawyered up and stayed true to her values. And even in the face of all of that, she didn't let it dim her light. Instead, she made a $1 million decision to sell the ranch, turn a profit, and create a new chapter for her family on her own terms. That's why Rachel is a unicorn in action. She doesn't just dream big, she does big. She takes risks that most people wouldn't dare to, not because she's fearless, but because she's rooted in her why. She knows what she wants, she goes after it unapologetically, and she's willing to pivot when the time is right. Rachel Rodgers is the epitome of what it means to lead with heart and drive. And if her story has lit a fire under you, it's time to start building your own unicorn team. My book, Unicorn Team, the 9 leadership types you need to launch your big ideas with speed and success, is your guide to aligning your vision, rallying the right people, and making bold moves that lead to the life and business you've always dreamed of. Click the link below to grab your copy today. And remember, big swings lead to big wins. Now go out there and take your shot. Until next time, stay bold, stay true, and never apologize for chasing what you want. I'll see you in the next video.